I'm just unfortunate. I love coffee with the Goose.
You are the man, Justin. Thank you, buddy.
Welcome to another edition of Coffee with the Goose, where we talk about things that are, you know it, interesting, fascinating, irritating. I am the Goose. Glad to have you back. Got some more great information for you, but we'll start the way we always do, right? Some good, strong coffee. My coffee is strong, just like my opinion, and got some creamer in there to make it sweet, just like me. Good stuff. Getting ready for the fight. It's getting closer. I'm so excited. I know you guys are too. Manny Pacquiao against Keith Thurman for a world welterweight title. That's coming up July 20th in Las Vegas. Going to be a big day for me. It's my anniversary to my sweet Raquel. She's put up with me this long. That's a miracle in itself. But the fight's going to be great. Two warriors, nothing, no dancing, no running, no hugging. Let's hope. But we're really excited about this. Do you remember, those of you who are about my age may remember, the famous song by Alice Cooper, No More Mr. Nice Guy, No More Mr. Clean, right? One of the lines says towards the end, my dog bit me on the leg today, the cat clawed my eye, he went to church, the reverend punched him in the nose. That's what you get for being Mr. Nice Guy, right? Well, Manny Pacquiao is your quintessential Mr. Nice Guy. Everything about this guy, when you see him on TV, all smiles, got that Filipino sociability. He's very entertaining, very respectful. Gotta love Manny Pacquiao. He is give you some great examples. He's committed to his family. Has been married to Jinky and has several children. Long marriage, and he's very dedicated to his family. He's also very dedicated to God and Jesus Christ. Even more so, I believe, after the Marquez knockout. It kind of woke him up. How can being knocked out wake you up? Well, humility will do that. And that woke him up to the fact that he is, he's only human. And the only one who really, he can really count on is God. So he's dedicated to his family and to his faith. He is very dedicated to his public service. He's a senator in the Philippines, whether you like his politics or not. That's he is dedicated. He is also dedicated to the poor in the Philippines. He grew up extremely poor. That's part of the reason he got into boxing. And good for him, Manny Pacquiao has never forgotten his roots. And of the tens of millions of dollars, maybe hundreds of millions he's made over the years, he's given a lot back. And what a great role model he is. He is also, he can also take it a little too far. Ask his coach, Freddie Roach. He's even nice to his opponents. He's a fighter, for crying out loud. But he kind of lost to a degree for a little while, lost that killer instinct, and he let up a little towards the end of his fights, thinking, well, I got this thing won, I don't want to hurt this guy. And you know, while we admire his humanity, we're not paying the money to see him be nice to his opponent. So I think he's getting a little more of that animal. That hunger, that ruthlessness back into him. And I think we're going to see that in his next fight against Keith Thurman. Now, here's a great example of the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde of Manny Pacquiao. When you watch his fights, go ahead, look it up. When he's walking with his entourage from the dressing room to the ring, he's all Pacquiao, all Filipino, right? Smiles, high fives everywhere. He's Mr. Joyful. Then he climbs into the ring. Where'd that guy go? He's not there anymore. Beware, the animal has entered the ring and the smile is gone. Time to get down to business. So Pacquiao is, there's no more Mr. Nice Guy when he fights. We've seen a couple of good examples of that. You know, when he was younger and knocking people out left and right, that's just how he was in the ring. I've seen a couple of good examples of him really PO'd. One was the second Morales fight. After Morales said, he didn't hurt me the first fight. I'm not worried about him. And Manny got mad, went in there and just beat him from one end of the ring to the other and knocked him out. And then fought him again and knocked him out again. So you don't want to make this guy mad. I also saw a couple of minutes of that in his Mosley fight. And Mosley, another Hall of Famer. He knocked Mosley down, I think the third round or so, which shocked him. And he got up and it was off to the races for the rest of the fight. He was running for his life. The big bad Shane Mosley. That's what Manny Pacquiao will do to you. But at one point, I believe it was the 9th or 10th round, they got their feet tangled up and Manny went down. And he got back up and he's like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go. And the referee started counting. And Manny's like, no way, you're going to count that a knockdown? Then he get the fire started again. And he went after Mosley like he robbed his house. And it was scary watching it. Mosley knew it. He knew he was in trouble. Somehow Mosley survived the rest of the last couple of rounds. But you saw it, that scary Manny Pacquiao. I've said this before, and I'll tell you again. Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter. He's got the fire in his belly, so to speak, and he's got all the great skills, all the great experience. But when he's mad, he's fearful, and his opponents know it. He intimidates his opponents, and he kind of enjoys it sometimes. And again, look it up. When he's fighting and his opponent decides to bring it to him, well, I'm going to go toe to toe with you, Manny, and they smack him a couple times in the face. Manny will step back, do this, like, okay, now we're in a fight. And then let the fireworks begin. Manny is a very frightening guy. Now, for this next fight against Keith Thurman, little reminder, Thurman's been talking trash. Give him all the props. Keith Thurman is a champion, and he's an undefeated champion, and he's feeling his oats. He thinks he's the man, and no one's going to touch him. Good for him. Well, not so good for him because he talked a little too much, even to a guy who's heard it all before. Manny's heard all the insults. He's heard people insult his being a Filipino, insult his family, and even insulting his mom. But Thurman took it a little too far and said, Manny likes to quote scripture. I'm going to crucify him in the ring. That was a monumental mistake. Now, guess what? Manny is angry again. Who knows what's going to happen? Okay, it's boxing, it's sports. Making predictions is a dangerous business. You never know what's going to happen. But I know one thing: Keith Thurman better bring his A game because Manny Pacquiao is very angry, and even talked to his good friend Boo Boy Fernandez, one of his trainers. They interviewed him recently, and he said, "This is the first time since the Marquez fight I've seen Manny this angry." And Manny himself has said it. And this, this is something I've never heard before, and you may never hear again. Manny said, "Yeah, I'm going to knock him out." Manny actually said he's going to knock him out. And I think in one of the videos he says, "I'm going to punch the words back into his mouth. He's going to eat those words." And you can hear a couple of the guys in the back row going, "Oi, oi." The beast is going to be unleashed. I don't hate Keith Thurman. I knowing Manny Pacquiao fans, no hatred at all. It's just the nature of the business. Keith Thurman, I hope he brings a good fight. Hope he brings his A game. He better, because he's in against, in my opinion, the greatest fighter ever, and a fighter who can hurt you badly. He's done it 39 times already. And the last time was just a year ago against Matisse, who many people thought would beat Pacquiao again. Once again, he was the underdog. Pacquiao's the underdog again against Keith Thurman. I don't know why. Almost everybody I hear from, even on YouTube, says Pacquiao's going to win. Well, we'll see on July 20th. Stick with us, please. In just a couple days, we're going to go to LA to the Wildcard Gym. My partner Jude and I looking forward to talking to hopefully Manny himself, Freddie Roach, Boo Boy, and maybe even Justin Fortune, the strength and conditioning coach. It's going to be a great time. We're very excited. Nothing's more anticipated than a Manny Pacquiao fight. Looking forward to a great show. That's it for this edition of Coffee with a Goose. Thank you so much for watching again, and many, many thanks to all of you folks who are subscribing. The number keeps growing, and we're very appreciative. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Coffee with a Goose. That's it for this show. Talk to you again soon. Take care.